Hi, hello, hello. We are now reading chapter 78 of Yugami-san, their class-wide plan to get Chihiro-san and Yugami-san sitting next to each other at the Rakugo performance. Went off without a hitch. They're sitting right at the front, right next to each other. Yugami against the aisle, so his only seat neighbor is Chihiro. It's unclear whether the classmates cooperated because they thought they were bringing about friendship between these two, or if they thought it was more of a romantic thing. But regardless, I assume something might happen. Okay, so it's starting. Heiraku is here. This chapter's title is Heiraku Throws a Question. Here's my bet. It's like, as we've heard before, there's a period of kind of banter between the Rakugo performer and the crowd. Kind of in like stand-up comedy or whatever, you kind of start off with the, hey, anybody from out of town? Before you get into your more developed, concentrated material or whatever. So before he starts telling the story, he might, kind of survey the audience a little and make some small talk. And I'm thinking the question he's going to ask is seeing Yugami right there in the front row, so focused. Hey, is that your girlfriend? Do you think it would be a pretty, I don't know, how would he respond? Because he wants to keep the good mood going. If we're ever going to see Yugami read the mood and actually try to support some sort of cultivated atmosphere or something, it would be here. It would be to show everyone how great Rakugo is. Okay, so Hairaku apologizing because, of course, Haitaru was supposed to come and perform, but he stepped in instead. Sincerely apologize for this. But still, I'm more expensive than that guy, so think of this as a profit. Ah, the class starts laughing. Okay. I don't know, I'm so sensitive to situations where someone is doing like a performance and no one is like paying attention, or someone is trying to invite people to some event, and it's like dismal attendance, or any of these types of failures where someone, all they want to do is entertain and make people happy, but for whatever reason it just kind of falls apart. I don't know, it really gets me. It really hits me somewhere deep in the pit of my stomach. So the previous Rakugo event with Haitaru kind of failing to make an impression on the students, that made me kind of sad. And I could really understand Yugami's frustration that it didn't go the way that he hoped. So I think this one will go better. People are already laughing. Even if you don't find me funny, take the profits and use that kind feeling to listen to my stories. Yeah. Alright, good. Watanabe-kun, who seems to be strategically positioned behind the pair, reaches out to tap Yugami-san's shoulder. Oh, never mind. It's Watanabe's shoulder being tapped by girl whose name I forget, even though she's one of my favorite characters. Does the friendship between those two look like it'll sprout? He's like, look it. The important part comes after the event. Don't rush it. There's often these sorts of scenes in manga, anime, and stuff where people are communicating just with gestures, and I always wondered, like, is there a way to actually sensibly do that, or is it more that you're getting across like the gist of what you're saying, and that it's spelled out more explicitly, of course, for the readers or viewers? There's a scene in Hidomari's sketch where Sae and Hiro have a whole conversation just using their hands, that it starts with very obvious ones of lending a tissue and stuff, but then it gets into, I was up late last night reading, oh, is it the novel I lent you? Like, stuff that's extremely impossible to communicate just like that, which is, of course, the joke. But it made me wonder, like, how far could you go? Anyways, of course there's, like, ASL and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just through gestures and, I don't know. Man, that person sure is interesting. Who's saying this? Captivated the students in the instant. Of course, he's the man called the greatest masterpiece of the Sansante name. These are two teachers. I believe this might be our two baseball advisors, right? The guy on the right being the arts teacher that got roped into it and never really enjoyed it. The guy on the left being that teacher that took an interest in Yugami-san, took him out for katsu at one point, and found himself thwarted, confused, and defeated at every single turn. But ended up supporting the baseball club too. Make appearances in movies and dramas from time to time, and people all across the land, young and old, men and women, find his Rakugo hilarious. You may not recognize him if you're unfamiliar with Rakugo, but he really is an amazing man. It's interesting that we're seeing this conversation. Very rarely are we so detached from our main characters, but it's kind of like all of our main characters are so established at this point, they can't be used for just sort of exposition. Whereas this is just sort of, I don't know, like some reputation. Yugami told me all about him during guidance counseling the other day. Okay, yeah. This makes a lot of sense. He did not shut up. It's kind of interesting because, like, here he seems kind of also in awe of Hairaku and is eager to share how wonderful this person is, you know, to kind of hype up the event. But then he's like a little resentful, but he's like, yeah, of course I know so much about this. Oh, you know what I have to deal with? Come to think of it, the conversation strayed after that, but he still seemed a little lost about the future. I hope he'll be okay. I mean, this is the big question. Yugami-san's future. Maybe that's the question that Hairaku poses. And what do you want to do once you graduate, young man? And Yugami is stumped. And he has to come up with something to say to his idol. Do. I don't know why it says do here. Is this the sound of thunderous applause and rapturous laughter? Laughter? Rapturous laughter? Oh, that's just it, huh? Wow. I thought we might see a little more stuff happening. I wanted to see what question he posed, but I guess, I don't know. Now, like, anything could happen. Within the confinements of the performance, only so much could happen, but I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. That's the guy Yugami-san constantly shows. His laugh was so young. I'm kind of a fan now. Oh, I love it. People are into it. People can understand the appeal of Rakugo this time. Oh, he's like looking around. He's looking around to see everyone cheering and stuff. He feels so vindicated. He's so happy. Oh, he's checking Watanabe-san's reaction specifically, I think. Staring right at her. What do you think? What do you think? But of course, yeah, she likes it too. Looks cheating more than I thought. Whoa! She couldn't see because Watanabe-kun is too tall. Alright, I think that's pretty funny because, you know, they had to do this whole convincing of the teacher. We should be able to sit next to whoever we like. Just sitting by height thing, you know, it's our last year, can't we make some nice memories? And then it totally backfired. Not against him, but against her, which is, she's just so long-suffering. Watanabe-kun, come on. Take it from me, a person who's 6'6", you gotta go sit in the back. That's just all there is to it. Whenever I'm in any sort of situation like this, any sort of flat seating arrangement, or even sometimes tiered seating arrangements, if the tiers aren't stratified enough, I'm heading to the back. This is the only thing to do. I mean, otherwise, people are just looking at the back of my head. You don't want to just watch this. Ha 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 ha. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, the best part is being able to see it. Oh boy, it would only be half as funny if I could just hear it. And so on. That's not what you want. He's sitting there as part of the plan. Don't forget that. Part of the plan. So the plan's not over yet? There's still more? I thought the whole plan was just to get them to sit next to each other. But he did say the real thing happens after the event. Meanwhile, Chihiro-san sees this note on the ground. Whoa, all sorts of questions for Hairaku, which of course we know who made. Yugami-san must have dropped his notes. What did you find difficult during your training period? Whenever asked in an interview, you change the Rakugo performer you idolize. Who do you truly idolize? There's kind of an insensitivity, I think, to that question that really reflects a very subtle part of Yugami's personality. Kind of I don't know. It's like it's really hard to pin down exactly what his social skills are and which ones he lacks. Which ones he lacks and which ones he just doesn't care to demonstrate regularly. But it's like obvious to me that the reason the answer keeps changing is because of certain situations and stuff, the geographical location or the publication that it's being put in, whatever, that Hairaku realizes, oh, I should really talk up this particular person because, you know, there's some sort of connection. It's just being very magnanimous and like really being a good interviewee, doing well for self-promotion, but Yugami is frustrated by this changing answer. He wants to truly know. Other than Haitaro, who else do you have expectations for? I mean, that's a good question. Like, they're not all bad questions. Only this middle one feels like he wasn't reading the atmosphere of those interviews. It's mine. I definitely thought so. He's taking questions after this. Okay. Look at Yugami-san's eyes. Have we ever seen them so shining, so full of life? Certainly not on the pitcher's mound. Certainly not watching fireworks. Certainly not at the bonfire. Only here, only in the presence of his hero, does he get so excited. It's okay if you don't have anything. It's hard to ask in things like this, isn't there? Yeah, I don't know. This is another thing that I'm afraid of. During Q&A sessions, I'm always so afraid that no one will ask anything and it'll be really awkward. So typically, I always ask something during Q&A sessions. I come up with something to ask, which I think that's good. You know, I gotta do something. But of course, I'm sure the camera will pan down and we see Yugami-san, hand stretched up as much as possible, even though he's in the front row. Don't you have a question? Oh no! He can't decide which question to ask. I have one chance. The best question on top of the story is told today. So he's thinking about the story that he told, what kind of mood Hairaku seems to be in, what sort of areas of his career maybe he should focus on. Probably also thinking about the audience's understanding of the situation, which one will endear them more to Hairaku so they can understand better the beauty and power of Rakugo. Greed. Yugami-kun is frozen from greed. He really just wants it all. He wants it all, but he can't have it all. So what will he do? What I would do is start passing the pages around and be like, if you guys don't have a question, can you please just ask one of these questions? And then you get all your questions answered. You're not hogging all the question time. You are, but you're not in a way that people will notice necessarily. But you are. Ooh, and she thinks back, and this is another pretty common facet of the series, is that she'll sometimes be just overwhelmed with memories. Often memories of Yugami-kun, which I think is quite sweet and really seems to imply something about how she thinks of him. But, you know, I mean, it's a nice feeling, isn't it? To just suddenly find yourself awash in all of these kind of sudden sensory moments where you just can remember. So yeah, she thinks back to how much he was shocked. Remember, he was just listening over his earbuds, and she just happened to notice the sound leaking out with Hairaku. When they went to the concert together, got this in the mail. Hairaku was like a no-hitter. You can tell the art style of the series has changed a bit since the beginning. It's become a lot more kind of refined, I think. The same sort of visual language applies, like the different phases Yugami-san's face goes through. are about the same, but the way each face is drawn has become a little more sophisticated. Enough about Hiraku already. I already heard this at least 100 times. Yeah, every day she gets it. Aren't any I can do. I can't do anything about that. Alright then, let's end this with a clap. Should get going. So there's a translation note here. The clap Hiraku is talking about is the Ipponjime, a rhythmic clap. I'm not saying that word. Due after the conclusion of something. I hope that wasn't that word, but I'm not going to say that word. Yeah, so I went to Kamiket this year in January. And the last day, because I was helping my friend sell his doujinshi, I stayed until the very end, which I hadn't done before. And they did that clap. I don't remember what it is, but they did those sets of claps all together. And I was like, how does everyone know this? And a friend of mine who is also there, who teaches English and Japanese, or in Japan, teaches English and Japanese. She teaches English in Japan and has lived there for like 5 years now. Also did the clap. And I was like, well, how do you know this? So she taught me about it afterwards. I felt bad. I couldn't participate. At first I had like tried to clap along, but like clearly everyone was doing like a specific rhythm and I was just like clapping. It was quite embarrassing. But the end of Kamiket was such a beautiful experience. Oh my gosh. I made another video about Kamiket. You can watch that if you'd like. Oh! Chihiro-san! I'm so happy! That's so bold of her. She never does stuff like this. Well, actually, she did. A couple chapters ago. At the end of the cultural festival. She did something equally bold when she said, stop bad-mouthing my friend. Well, for Yugami-kun, she can really step up. Plenty of times to think of a question now. She should have asked one of his questions. What's your favorite food? It's a little shaky. I mean, it's not the worst question. I'm sure Yugami-kun is going to eat a ton of cold soup because of this answer. It doesn't buy very much time, though. You should ask about a story or something with a more elaborate answer. But it's more the gesture. It's more that she tried. Yugami-san realizing that she's doing something for him to give him this opportunity that he was about to lose. Cold bonito soup. That does sound good. I like bonito flakes a lot. So this looks like bonito flakes on top of maybe raw salmon, some vegetables, maybe some seaweed, maybe some green onion it looks like. That sounds very good. I'll try it sometimes. Thank you, Dave, very much. Is this going to be like a Spartacus thing? Where the other classmates, they may not know why Chihiro did it, but they realize that she's trying to do something. And therefore they all will start asking their own inane questions, buying Yugami-san more and more time to finally get his head in gear and figure out what he wants to ask. Or is Yugami-san asking the next question? I don't know. Oh, it is Yugami-san. Okay, good for you. Why did you decide to come to our school on this occasion? Although your pupil, Haitaro-san, is sick, you must be very busy, and yet... Interesting that he ended up going with this. A question that pertains only just to the situation at the school. Something that I'm sure will reveal part of Hiraku's character, but doesn't really give him any insights on Rakugo or his future. Or I thought he might. This is what I was kind of predicting. Is that he might ask, how do I become a Rakugo performer? You know, like, it kind of seems like that's what he wants to do. I don't know. Reason I came, let's see. Guess because everyone here isn't my fan. Ooh, I want to test my abilities from time to time. I've been reflecting a lot even this year. Is this good? Is this funny? The anxiety is never ending. But it's also why I never get bored of this. To sum up, well, I came because it looked like fun. Look what? I came because not everyone here is my fan. I came to test myself. You know, the people that come to my events, they already love me. They already are just unabashedly huge fans of my work, of course. And paid all this money just to come see me. They're not going to be critical. They're not going to be disappointed. They're going to yeah, I don't know. So this caught me off guard. This all caught me off guard. I thought it would be something more sentimental, the question he asked. I thought it would be that sort of twist. But this is quite compelling too. Thank you very much. Okay, so they wrap up. What's up with the rest of the plan? It seems like the part where the first part of the plan mattered is over. Nobody's sitting in their seats anymore. So why did they coordinate all this seat stuff if there's still more planned? It feels like what the class had schemed has already come to an end. No? Gee, going back, it's almost the end of the day assembly. I want to digest this a little. Thank you. I was able to ask a question thanks to you. Ah! He said straight up, thank you. And she heard it this time, which is really nice. I was able to jump a hurdle in my head thanks to your worthless question. Yeah, he always goes a little too far. Really always say a bit too much. The event is over. What do we do now? And then we have another full panel face of Watanabe-kun. It's becoming his specialty. It's really nice. It has a good obnoxiousness to it. It's the face of someone taking up as much space as possible in their announcements and stuff. I don't know. I feel like I could talk about the genius of these full-paced panels for like half an hour. It's like, it all has to do with your kind of normal expectations of how a panel sets the scene and stuff, and then also your expectations of like character dialogue in comics, that there's almost always an implied like dialogue, yeah, like multiple characters speaking and a back and forth of ideas, but then to just occupy everything. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. Okay, there's going to be a discussion on today's events between the two of them. Now, I wonder what will happen between them. I don't know, this plan seems very flimsy, because they've already been through so many things together. Like, why this in particular will make a big difference in their minds, I have no idea. He left. Yeah, this is how it is. That guy leaves way too soon. It's been 5 seconds since the end of day assembly. Ah. So the rest of the class, seeing that Watanabe is about to give away their intent, they need some excuse for why Watanabe cares about this. Wanted to hear more about him. Wanted to learn more about Hiraku. I mean, this like fake reason, which might have some grain of truth to it, because they all seem to really like Hiraku. It would be more than acceptable for Yugami-kun. He would love to just talk everyone's ear off about Hiraku. Almost certainly, he would go on for hours and hours, breaking down the minutiae of every sentence that he had said on stage, and why it was so perfectly delivered and eloquent and reflecting a great deep pool of talent. We wanted to talk to him at the cafe around here while drinking tea or something. Ooh, a plan to slowly slip out and leave the two of them alone together. So they did have a few more little schemes on top of schemes. But of course, yeah. This excites Chihiro-san on behalf of Yugami, because she knows how much Yugami would love to do this, how much he would love to pontificate on the qualities of Hiraku. She, of course, doesn't realize that they all have this ulterior motive of getting the two of them together in some capacity, that they're all planning on just leaving the cafe right away. Chiyo-chan ran out. What are you going to do about it, Watanabe? Don't lie me for every single thing. Okay, so this is, I think, a first, that Watanabe-kun leaves early. I mean, whoa. What a mix-up. Yugami-kun leaves early. How did I mix those characters up? What the hell? Yugami-kun leaves early, and Chihiro generally doesn't care. That's happened dozens of times, but this time, for the first time ever, she's running to chase him down. Or at least that's the first time I can think of. He walks like super fast, I bet. Yeah, look at, he must be walking like so fast. Everyone is interested in Hiraku. Oh my gosh, this is a stair falling event, isn't it? She's gonna fall down the dang stairs, I'm sure of it. Oh! No! She performed a death-defying leap. The teacher calling out, but she doesn't care, running through the hallway, so bold. Hiraku's performance is spreading. Everyone is trying to meet you halfway. Aww, look at this imagined scene in her mind. And it's like the exact same face he makes when he talks to her. And it's like, I wonder if part of her is like, I won't have to deal with all of this myself anymore. It'll be spread out at long last. I'm not going to be the only one that has to hear about Hiraku. Maybe they won't be able to make weird misunderstandings about you anymore. Yeah. That's right. It's really nice that she recognizes, like, that she thinks this is such a good opportunity, that she's so compelled by this dream, that Watanabe can be understood by everyone. Because she felt so bad when he was being badmouthed. Switching shoes. Lightning fast. He's already on the bike. Calling out to him. And once he's gone, he's gone. No cell phone. That's in the pool. Oh my, I still can't believe he threw his phone in the pool. I love it so much. Strike! and I don't know, that might actually be my favorite scene in the whole series. Okay. So she's chasing him down. But she can't possibly catch up to the bike. Oh! She gets on her own bike. This Hiraku boom may be over by tomorrow. A deadly serious proclamation. How many plot lines have been motivated by the fickle nature of the class, right? There's even been times where Yugami-kun is elevated to the status of celebrity for a day. And everyone adores him and loves him, and then the mood switches again. So this could be a very rapidly closing window for Yugami to lecture everyone on Hiraku and for it to be at all accepted. Chihiro-san, she's pedaling fast as hell. Just like Yugami-san. Ooh. So will she be able to catch up? Of course, this is that asshole first-year kid. Whoa! What the heck? Is this what Yugami-san does after school? I felt like we see his day broken down so meticulously. We see all of the things he does, all of the things he plans. It all, like, clicks together quite consistently. There's not big gaps where something like this that could surprise me. Yugami-san goes to a cafe and drinks a coffee. And it seems like this is a habit, the way that she says, here is today's coffee. Their whole plan to get them alone in a cafe looks like it's going to come to fruition. Totally incidentally. That's pretty funny. That's a nice little... I don't know, it kind of has like a sitcom appeal. Like big moments of irony made through several plot complications. You know, this is a common sitcom thing. Like, this goes wrong, this goes wrong, this goes wrong. But then in the end, it's just as planned. Like, that kind of... I don't know. What a nice shot. What a sophisticated young lad. Enjoying his coffee in Cafe Weather Vane. Music. I was... Okay, when I first started the series, the fact that he was always listening to something, I was like, ooh, so relatable, you know, because I'm always listening to music. I wonder what music he's listening to. It's a big question on my mind as I kind of got more into the series. But then, of course, it turned out to just be Rakugo, of course, all the time. Of course, only Rakugo. But I always wondered, is he at all interested in music? Seems like he's really enjoying it. Time to digest how amazing the today's performance was. How bad that. Okay, small typo. That's fine. Chihiro-san arrives. Karan, karan, the bell tolls. And it looks like the two of them might just relax over a nice cup of coffee. Oh, okay, never mind, never mind. He said he'll tell us about Hiraku? Be heading there now. Look at they're so kind to Chihiro-san now. She used to be such a loner, and then she had that small group of friends, but there was always such tension and stuff. But now they're doing all of this to support her. It's so lovely. Even Watanabe-kun, an asshole on the best of times. The plan's a success. Let's get Yugami and Chi to talk, just the two of them. He didn't even do anything, it just ended up being that way. Look at his face. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think this sort of plotline is very funny. As I said, it has a good sitcom appeal to me. What was I gonna say? But it's like, you can say they didn't do anything, alright? And I mean, it's very funny to consider just how little they did. But if it wasn't for their plan, if it wasn't for the fake out of trying to get all of them to go to the cafe, then Chihiro would have never chased Yugami-san down to try to get this opportunity to happen, right? So it really is still because of them. It's just that it wasn't what they actually intended. Said to wait because it might take them a while. Whatever they wanted to know about Hiraku. Look, he's doing the face. He's doing the exact same face that she pictured when he was going to talk about Hiraku with them. He's already in the mode. This chair is so comfy. It's a wonderful cafe. A cup of coffee costs 800 yen. Well, such is life. That's so expensive. I skipped lunch for 2 days because of that. With that pain, I'm carving today's experiences onto my heart. Is that Hiraku that just came in? It's a system so I can get more than enough. You're greedy for fun things, Yugami-kun. He just takes them seriously. He takes enjoyment seriously. I can so respect that. It's a great goal of mine too. To be able to say, I appreciated that to the fullest. That experience of watching this, eating this, whatever, that everyone can share. I want to say I didn't miss out on it. I truly faced it head on. I think that's a very admirable goal. I think, though, someone just came in, perhaps. He knew. Just instantly, he could feel the aura of Hiraku. Oh my gosh. It's just some old man. It's not just some old man. It's not just some old man. Hiraku-san. And she can't help herself. I'm sure Yugami-kun was just going to silently observe and not say anything, not go up to him. But Chihiro blurts it out. Oh, and he recognizes her. How nice. So we go back to the classroom. I don't care about this anymore. I want to see Hiraku. I want to see how they interact with him. Ultimately unable to go, you can just fade out. All's well that ends well. Yeah, they're a little disappointed. They thought it might be more fun to be at the cafe with them and then be like, well, you know, I'll just leave you two be. It's a lot more schemy. And let's do karaoke with everyone in class. And they're leaving them out. This goes against the whole unification thing that they were going for. But whatever. Shiro-san's friendship is still one-sided. It's okay. Observing them for the entire day. And I think Yugami actually loves Chihi, probably. No. I don't know. I genuinely don't think he has those feelings in his heart yet. I think he has all of the ingredients to really realize, to really, I don't know. There needs to be some sort of spark or something, though. It's not quite there. He has all of the affection built up. in stores, in reserves. But he just isn't thinking about it in that way. All it takes is some slight reframing, and I think then he'll realize just how much he wants her in his life. That's what I'm hoping. And I think Chihiro still needs to have kind of more of an experience like that too. I think she's a little closer. She's been much more honest about how much she appreciates him to herself. But it's not at the level of like love yet. What do you think, Waka-chan? Maybe his friendship is just hard to understand. Doesn't exactly reject company. Rather than going with the flow with no objective, he has a lot he wants to do, so I think that's why he says he doesn't need friends. That's true. The company for the wise man is light and watery. Ryota coming through with some nerd-ass nerd saying. That's actually really interesting though, isn't it? The company for the wise man is light and watery. A saying that means the company for a person with goodness and culture is fleeting, but the friendship is lasting. Something like that. That guy's friendship comes in all shapes and sizes, probably. Yugami-kun, why do you usually speak formally to us, our classmates? Oh, he's getting a little closer to all of them too. It seems like he was really happy when Waku-chan here praised him. He even went doki doki. I don't know if that's just because he's happy he said something, but he was able to use this lovely quote in a good context to kind of advance the conversation. Or if it's something about this girl specifically, I don't know. I'm just in full-on shipping mode. I'm deploying the whole fleet. We're shipping all over the place today. Anyways, only drink water from this cafe with 300 yen. Take this as a gift for getting excited from asking the questions back there. Drink up. Aww. She got a little sorbet thing too. Doesn't that look lovely? He's gonna ask the question. He's gonna ask it. The question I predicted. I think he's gonna ask it. Yugami-kun is so nervous. I have never seen him in my entire life this nervous. In my entire life? That sounds weird. In the previous 77 chapters. Much more than in baseball. Oh, he's gonna ask it. Are you ready? Are you guys like this? Whoa! That he does this. Are you guys like this? What a heart. I can't make a good heart like this. This is, I think, one of the worst ones. I think this one is usually better. I'm trying to line it up with the camera. This one's pretty good. Here's another one. This one is like okay. It's pretty similar, I guess. This one, I don't know. It always looks like more like an apple. You know which one I really like though? See, it's like a little heart. I think that's from K-pop. K-pop idols would do that. Oh, it's so good because you feel like you're not even doing anything. It's not like snapping your fingers. It's not like a gesture. It's just like a very slight, and you can do it like that. Isn't that like the cutest thing? I mean, not me doing it, but imagine someone cute doing it. Okay. That cocoa is like 900 yen. You know, drink it carefully. It's not like that. It's not like that. Still in the friendship stage, huh? Whoa, he's like really enjoying this. Hi, Raku, man. Like, think about it. He spent his entire life telling stories, sinking himself into characters. Of course he's going to enjoy a moment like this. Of course he's going to feel so lucky to see what he thinks as a budding couple. Thinks accurately, IMO. Just happen to be in the same class and are you not friends? See, he's trying to be a little rhetorically tricky, right? He thinks they'll say, well, okay, we are friends, which then subtly starts to reinforce his argument of still just friends, right? He's trying to fluster them. But he couldn't expect that the answer to this question could just be no. I mean, Chihiro did call him her friend in a really beautiful, stunning moment. but he's never made any sort of similar proclamation. Oh, never mind. Okay, whoa, I got scared for a second. She's just remembering. I thought he was about to go off on Hyraku of all people. But you can see he's in old art style mode. Phew! It's a monologue from the past. I have no need whatsoever to waste my brain capacity on past human relations in regret, because I am someone who doesn't need something like friends. So she remembers that. She looks to him. What will he say? He looks quite calm now. I think maybe getting all flustered about the cocoa somehow kind of reset his brain. Yugami-kun, we are friends, right? Oh, are you not friends? We're friends, right? What is he gonna say? What is he gonna say? That's it? That's the end of the chapter? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh. Okay. Big question. Big question. What will Yugami-san say? Are they friends? Does Chihiro have a one-sided friendmate, as her classmates suspected and worried about? Crazy chapter. Very good chapter. Let's look forward to more. I mean, look forward. It's already all out, but you look forward. I'll probably have another chapter up tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.